Luke chapter 8. And it was soon afterwards that he went about through cities and villages, preaching and bringing the good tidings of the kingdom of the God, and with him the 12. And certain women who had been healed of evil spirits and infirmities, Maria, that was called Magdalene, from whom 7 demons had gone out, and Johanna, the woman of Chuza, Herodes's steward, and Shoshannah, and many others, who served to them of their substance. And when a great multitude came together, and they of every city resorted to him, he spoke by a parable. The sower went forth to sow his seed, and as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and it was trodden under foot, and the birds of the sky devoured it. And other fell on the rock, and as soon as it grew, it withered away, because it had no moisture. And other fell amidst the thorns, and the thorns grew with it, and choked it. And other fell into the good ground, and grew, and brought forth fruit 100-fold. As he said these things, he cried, "The one possessing ears to be hearing, let him be hearing." And his disciples asked him what this parable might be. And he said, "To you it is given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of the God, but to the rest in parables, that seeing they may not see, and hearing they may not understand." Now the parable is this: the seed is the word of the God. And those by the wayside are they that have heard. Then cometh the slanderous adversary, and taketh away the word from their heart, that they may not believe and be saved. And those on the rock, they who, when they have heard, receive the word with joy, and these have no root, who for a while believe, and in time of testing they are standing away. And that which fell among the thorns, these are they that have heard, and as they go on their way, they are choked with cares and riches and pleasures of the life, and bring no fruit to perfection. And that in the good ground, these are such as in an honest and good heart, having heard the word, hold it fast, and bring forth fruit with hopeful perseverance. And no man, when he hath lighted a lamp, covereth it with a vessel, or putteth it under a bed, but putteth it on a stand, that they that enter in may see the light. For a hidden thing is not which shall not become manifest, neither is a secret thing which should certainly not become known, and into manifestation should come. Be ye taking heed therefore how ye are hearing, for whosoever should be possessing, to him shall be given, and whosoever be possessing not, from him shall be taken away even that which he is thinking to be possessing. And there came to him his mother and brothers, and they were not able to meet with him through the crowd. And it was told him, Thy mother and thy brothers stand without, desiring to see thee. But he answered and said to them, My mother and my brothers are these that hear the word of the God and do it. Now it was on one of those days that he entered into a boat, himself and his disciples, and he said to them, Let us go over to the other side of the lake. And they launched forth. But as they sailed, he fell asleep, and there came down a storm of wind on the lake, and they were filling with water, and were in jeopardy. And they came to him, and awoke him, saying, Master, Master, we perish. And he awoke, and rebuked the wind and the raging of the water, and they ceased, and there was a calm. And he said to them, Where is your faith? And being afraid, they marveled, saying one to another, Who then is this, that he commandeth even the winds and the water, and they obey him? And they arrived at the country of the Gerashah, which is over against Galilee. And when he was come forth upon the land, there met him a certain man out of the city, who had demons, and for a long time he had worn no clothes, and abode not in any house, but in the tombs. And when he saw Yeshua, he cried out, and fell down before him, and with a loud voice said, What have I to do with thee, Yeshua, thou Son of the Most High God? I beseech thee, thou shouldst torment me not. For he was commanding the unclean spirit to come out from the man, for oftentimes it had seized him, and he was kept under guard, and bound with chains and fetters, and breaking the bands apart, he was driven of the demon into the deserts. And Yeshua asked him, What is thy name? And he said, Legion, for many demons were entered into him. And they entreated him that he would not command them to depart into the abyss. Now there was there a herd of a considerable number of pigs, being fed on the mountain, and they entreated him that he might permit for them to enter into them. And he permitted for them. And the demons came out from the man, and entered into the pigs, and the herd rushed down the steep into the lake, and were drowned. And when they that fed them saw what had become, they fled, and told it in the city and in the country. And they went out to see what had become, and they came to Yeshua, and found the man from whom the demons were gone out, sitting, clothed, and in his right mind, at the feet of Yeshua, and they were afraid. And they that saw it told them how he that was possessed with demons was made whole. And all the people of the country of the Gerashah round about asked him to depart from them, for they were held with great fear. And he entered into a boat and returned. But the man from whom the demons were gone out prayed him that he might be with him. But he sent him away, saying, Return to thy house, and declare how great things the God hath done for thee. and he went his way, publishing throughout the whole city how great things Yeshua had done for him. And as Yeshua returned, the multitude welcomed him, for they were all waiting for him. And behold, there came a man named Yair, and he was a ruler of the synagogue, and he fell down at Yeshua's feet and besought him to come into his house. For he had an only daughter, about 12 years of age, and she was dying. But as he went, the multitudes thronged him. And a woman having an issue of blood 12 years, who had spent all her living upon physicians, and could not be healed of any, came behind him and touched the border of his garment, and immediately the issue of her blood stood. And Yeshua said, "Who is it that touched me?" And when all denied, Petros said, "Master, the multitudes press thee and crush thee." But Yeshua said, "Someone did touch me, for I perceive that power had gone forth from me." And when the woman saw that she was not hid, she came trembling, and falling down before him, declared in the presence of all the people for what cause she touched him, and how she was healed immediately. And he said to her, "Daughter, thy faith hath made thee whole. Go in peace." While he yet spoke, there cometh one from the ruler of the synagogue's house, saying, "Thy daughter is dead. Trouble not the teacher." But Yeshua, hearing it, answered him, "Fear not, only believe, and she shall be made whole." And when he came to the house, he let not any man to enter in with him, except Petro and Yohanan and Jacob and the father of the maiden and her mother. And all were weeping and bewailing her, but he said, "Weep not, for she died not, but is sleeping." And they laughed him to scorn, knowing that she died. But he, taking her by the hand, called, saying, "Maiden, arise." And her spirit returned, and she rose up immediately, and he commanded that something be given her to eat. And her parents were amazed, but he charged them to tell no man what had been done.